So I'm just gonna break it off into here. So I have the lipstick, and then I just heat it. And then this takes a bit of time. Melting this really helps create it to be a bit more mattifying. Hi, I'm makeup artist Daniel Martin, Global Director of Artistry and Education at Tatcha, and this is my makeup kit. So I have my makeup set up in sections. I have celebrity skin, skincare, another set of complexion, tools, all my color. That includes eyeshadows, blushes, lipsticks. And I'm a crazy Virgo, so I promise that this is all organized. How much do I think this kit costs? I would probably say close to $10,000. So I have two kits that I usually work out of, an editorial kit and my celebrity kit. This right here is my celebrity kit. This is for Jessica Alba, Elizabeth Moss, Olivia Palermo, and Nina Dobrev. Every girl has their own complexion bag. So this has their foundations, their powders, concealers, basically curated for them, and it never leaves their bag. I actually have them marked in my studio. One product that I have that's always in my kit for all my girls for red carpet is the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. This little guy will extend the long wear of your foundation. It's comfortable after moisturizer, and I will actually mix this with foundation too to build up more coverage. So the last look that I did with this kit was with my friend Megan. My approach with her is very similar to any approach that I have with my other celebrity clients. We kind of go over what they're wearing, we talk about the look, and then that's when the creation happens. I actually have a Pinterest collection of images that I've collected over the years with references that go way back to like the 40s to the 90s to now. This source of inspiration is really helpful for any makeup artist who's trying to kind of figure out what kind of look you want to create with your clients. So for instance, with Elizabeth Moss for the Oscars, we had this image. She was wearing Dior Haute Couture, so we pulled up an image of something from the 40s. Very classic, very beautiful. She has this incredible skin, so I really wanted to punch up her skin but really create this beautiful crimson lip on her. Lizzie's look for that night, I used a long wear foundation, and this one by NARS is a soft matte, which is really beautiful on the skin, great for TV. Also, I prepped her skin with the Tatcha water cream, which is this one. And on the eye was this beautiful kind of very bare neutral palette, and this one by Dior were basically the colors that I used. And then on her lip, it was like this really beautiful, not too matte, not too shiny lip. So what I wound up doing was I went over her lip with a lip liner. This one is Victoria Beckham. And then you can use lip gloss to add to that, or just to hit a bit of shine on the lip. The weirdest thing that I always bring with me on a job, basically, whether it's celebrity or editorial, I always carry cortisone gel with me. If my client has like a pimple or any redness on the face, this little guy will knock the redness down, and then I can put makeup safely on top of it. So I always carry some sort of food with me, and it's always candy. So right now what's in my candy bag is Blow Pops, because who doesn't love Blow Pop? And I have Ricola, just to calm that throat. A lot of my clients actually love the fact that I carry Lord Jones CBD gumdrops in my kit. Red carpet can be very nerve-wracking, so this kind of like chills them out, tastes good, and by the time that they get to the carpet, they're just ready to roll. So let's talk about skin. This is my skincare section. So skincare is really important before any kind of makeup because it sets the canvas for everything that you put on top of it. So I really want to make sure that the skin is in a neutral spot, being that any kind of redness I could take down, any kind of dry skin I could really hydrate, but without optimizing skincare onto the skin before makeup, your makeup will not lay the way that you expect it to. My approach to organizing skincare is according to skin type. So a lot of these products can be used on anyone from normal to oily skin. Let's talk about facial massagers. So one of my favorite facial massagers is this one by Joanna Check. I love these devices because it's really invigorating for the skin, especially in the morning when you want to wake the skin up, and if you have a client that has had they were out late the night before and their skin is just not at its peak, these massagers are great just to kind of perk that life back into the skin. And this one literally kind of pulls that skin back. I'll actually keep it in the freezer the night before, and then take it out the next day and it's like super cold and just really pulls and massages that skin. Another one that I love is this one by Skin Inc. It's this gold one and it vibrates. And this is great with a bit of eye cream and then you just go up underneath the eye with it. What I see after I use these on the client is just the blood is just pumping through the face and it just brings this luminosity, this radiance to the skin that you don't usually get with either just a mask or just using skincare. You really want to get the blood flowing. So after skincare, I go into complexion, foundations, concealers, powders, and I try to have at least 3 different types of foundations with me in my kit. So this one by Armani is a very light to medium coverage. This is great for editorial when you want that skin to come through, but it's really comfortable on the skin and it knocks out any redness so you don't feel like you're wearing anything, but it just really evens out your complexion. This one by NARS, this soft matte longwear foundation, is great for red carpet. It's not matte and flat because you want to control the oil, you want to control that radiance. This is great for TV. It's just a really nice, comfortable foundation for longwear. And then these concealers by Dior, I actually can use these as foundation as well. So I'll mix a bit of the Tatcha liquid silk canvas with this to extend this into a foundation. But I also like to mix this with a bit of oil to kind of sheer it out as well. But these little guys can give me a full face of foundation. And then I have my correctors. This is one of my favorites by Ben Nye to even out any kind of sallowness in the skin, dark eyes, even cancel out some redness from a pimple. And then I always keep these cream foundations by Honest in this palette for touch-ups on the body, touch-ups on the face. So I like to use creams as a touch-up product because I find that it really helps reconstitute the makeup that starts to fade. It's really versatile to manipulate. Having these options is really important to me anyways because I need to understand the finish that either the photographer or the talent wants at the end of the day. If we're doing something editorial that they want to be able to control afterwards in post, I'll go for something that's more sheer or light because this is basically your skin but better. For red carpet, if the talent wants something that's gonna last a long time, they don't have to worry about touching up. This is where I would go with this product. So after complexion, I'll move into color. When I go into eyes, I always like to start with the brows because I feel like finishing off the brow really sets the tone for how intense or how less dramatic you want to do your eye makeup. One product that I'm really loving right now is one that I found on Instagram actually. And it's these brow pens by Etude House, which is a K-beauty brand. These are like little markers. There's 4 prongs to this. Me personally, I love a brow to look as natural as possible. So this gives me that Brooke Shields 80s brow, really big, fluffy, beautiful, without it looking too Instagram-y. So I kind of set my eyeshadow palettes according to neutrals, brights, more natural. Before I go into shadow, I would actually lay it down with these cream pigments. This will keep the longevity of anything that you put on top of it. So these Senna cream palettes are great because I can really create a base tone for the eyeshadows by using these first. So one of my favorite palettes is this one by NARS. It makes for a great neutral. I'll actually use my finger with this particular formula because it's so smooth. And then if I go into anything more experimental, this is one of my favorite palettes. This is Urban Decay. So I have a whole bag. This is my colored eyeliner, kind of trapper keeper of color. I mean, I have to say, I've gotten a lot of inspiration from Instagram. I've had liners in something very similar, but I never put them in a book. So when I saw someone on Instagram do it, I was like, oh my God, that's genius. So I just keep it organized and it's so compact too. So in here, I just keep a lot of eyeliners. This one's colored eyeliners. I have another one that's more neutrals. So cheek colors, I always like to keep cream cheeks with me. So this palette by Makeup Forever is amazing because I can really stretch these out and I can mix up shades. I like to have color, especially on the face, feel like it's coming through the skin. So I'll take a brush like this and mix it with a cream blush. It kind of stipples the color in a way on the skin that it looks like it's coming through. So if I feel like if it's too much, then what I'll do is I'll go over it with foundation. If I need to amp up any more color on the cheek, I'll just go in with the powder. Contour shade shades, highlighters. I try to keep it as minimal as possible because I want the versatility of these products on so many skin tones, and I also don't want to carry so much stuff. This palette by MAC is one of my favorites because it has 6 different ranges. This one by Dior as well is a great one to contour with. And then these are the highlighters that I tend to gravitate towards because at this point I want to shape out the skin. I don't want to manipulate anything. I finish off every look with lipstick. So for editorial, palettes are much easier because they're more compact. I can manipulate the colors, I can manipulate texture sometimes. So these are my lipstick palettes. My assistant meticulously placed these in these wells. I have 3 different ones that I like to work with because I can manipulate the color and the texture. I like to keep my bullets for my celebrity clients because I like to give them the lipstick when they leave with it. I don't like to give a little brush with a little bit of lipstick because some may need more than others, so it's just easier for me just to give them the lipstick that they're using for the night. So when I have a couple of lipsticks that have run down on the bullet, some people like to scoop them out and put them in a palette. Because of my crazy Virgo, all of my lipsticks that have run down on the bullet, I'll scoop out and stick them into a new and create a whole new fresh palette. For this demo, I'm gonna use a lipstick, this grapefruit spoon. I like a grapefruit spoon because it's angled and it's an easier pour for me into the palette. And then I'll use a candle for the heat. So I'm just gonna break it off into here. So I have the lipstick and then I just heat it. And then this takes a bit of time. It might take a lot of time actually, sorry. I hate destroying makeup because I'm a neurotic Virgo and everything has to look perfect and have its place. Having to do this trick is much easier for me rather than smashing a bunch of lipsticks. So when you melt down lipstick, the thing that dissipates first is the fragrance that's in it. So when you do this method and you pour the lipstick back in, you'll notice that the texture's changed a bit, and a lot of times fragrance has a bit of emulsion into it. Melting this really helps create it to be a bit more mattifying. Now I'm gonna go in and pour this into the well of the palette. That's basically it. And then once this dries down, you have a really perfectly welled lipstick palette. So what you just witnessed is the most arduous part of containing my kit. Everything has its place, everything is compartmentalized. I hope you liked seeing everything that's in there, and see you later.